Let me tell you a story, one that's shocking, tragic, and yet undeniable proof that when God speaks, his words never fail. It's about the destruction of Jerusalem, an event so horrifying, so devastating, that it still echoes through history to this day. It all began with a prophecy, one spoken by Jesus himself. As he walked through the glorious temple of Jerusalem, his disciples admired its beauty, its massive stones, its golden splendor. But Jesus turned to them and said something chilling. "Do you see all these things? Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down." The people must have thought he was exaggerating. After all, Jerusalem was the heart of Israel, the city of God. The temple, it was God's dwelling place. Who could ever destroy it? But 40 years later, those words came to life in the most terrifying way imaginable. In the year 66 AD, the Jews rebelled against Rome. At first they had victories, but they had no idea what was coming. In 70 AD, the Roman general Titus, son of Emperor Vespasian, marched on Jerusalem with a massive army. The city was surrounded. No one could leave. No food could enter. And that's when the nightmare began. Inside the walls, starvation consumed the people. Mothers watched their children waste away, their bodies mere skeletons. Some became so desperate they did the unthinkable. History records that some even ate their own children. The streets were filled with corpses. Disease spread like wildfire. But the worst was yet to come. The Romans broke through the walls. Chaos erupted. Soldiers stormed the city, cutting down everyone in their path. Blood ran through the streets like rivers. The temple, that sacred place where God's presence once dwelled, became a battlefield. Titus never wanted to destroy it. He actually ordered his men to spare the temple. But in the madness of war, a Roman soldier threw a flaming torch inside. The fire spread like a living beast, consuming everything. The golden roof melted, the flames devoured the great walls, and the magnificent temple collapsed in a roar of destruction. The fire was so intense that the gold from the temple's interior melted and ran between the stones. And remember Jesus' words, "Not one stone will be left upon another." Well, after the fire died down, the Roman soldiers, greedy for the gold that had melted between the cracks, took iron bars and pried apart every single stone. Everything. Gone. When it was over, the once mighty city of Jerusalem was nothing but a heap of ruins. Over 1 million Jews were killed. Thousands more were taken as slaves, scattered to the ends of the earth. The people of God had rejected their Messiah, and now their city lay in ashes, just as he had warned. This wasn't just history, it was prophecy, a prophecy fulfilled to the letter. Jesus had wept for Jerusalem, warning them of what was coming. They didn't listen, and here's the shocking part. This isn't just a story about the past, it's a warning for today. Because Jesus also spoke of another day of judgment, a day when he will return, not as the suffering servant, but as the conquering king. The question is, will we be ready? Jerusalem wasn't. Will you be? If this story shook you, if it made you realize that God's word never fails, then don't just scroll past. It's time to turn to Jesus, to seek him while there's still time. Like, comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't given your life to Christ, don't wait. Tomorrow is never promised. Jesus is coming back. The only question is, will you be ready?